South Korean President Myung vowing to increase spending on defense after his first face-to-face meeting with the U.S. president in Washington. That's in addition to another promise that Seoul will play a more active role, including boosting overall defense capabilities in responding to changes in the regional landscape. But there are still questions over how much South Korea will contribute to the cost of providing for 28,500 American troops stationed in the country.
한미 동맹을 안보 환경 변화에 발맞추어 더 호혜적이고 미래지향적으로 현대화해 나가자는데 뜻을 함께 모았습니다. 미국의 대한 방위 공약과 한미 연합 방위 태세는 철통같이 유지될 것입니다. 동시에 한국은 한반도의 안보를 지키는 데 있어 보다 주도적인 역할을 앞으로 해 나갈 것입니다.
Myung not neglecting trade on this visit, both sides agreeing to a non-binding framework, providing more detail on how South Korea will structure and operate a $350 billion investment fund. This is agreed to with the U.S. as part of a deal to cut tariffs reached late July. More than 40% of that has been earmarked for reviving America's struggling shipbuilding sector. Shipbuilding was amongst 11 non-binding agreements signed between the U.S. and South Korea, those companies, during this visit. So many details still unsettled, with final terms yet to be formalized.
Where we do a lot of trade with South Korea, as you know. We are thinking about contracting some ships. They build them very well in South Korea. They're also thinking about coming to our country with some shipyards to start us on the process of building ships again. But we're going to be buying ships from South Korea, but we're also going to have them make ships here with our people, using our people. And we're going to go back into the shipbuilding business again.
Notwithstanding the overall cordial tone, the absence of detail prompting some observers to question whether any concrete progress was made, as CNA's Lim Yun Suk explains.
It was all smiles between U.S. President Donald Trump and South Korean President Myung as they spoke to the media. Mr. Lee did not hold back his praise of Mr. Trump, even calling him the only leader who could act as a peacemaker and bring lasting peace on the Korean peninsula. South Korea's presidential spokeswoman Kang Yoo-jung said the summit helped the two leaders build trust, and it went so well there was no need for a joint statement. The leaders reaffirmed cooperation across various fields, with 11 MOUs signed between companies from both sides in areas such as shipbuilding, nuclear energy, and aviation. South Korea's opposition party, however, blasted the summit meeting, calling it a diplomatic disaster and saying it was unclear what was agreed on, if anything. Analysts in Seoul are also divided. Some say President Lee played his cards right, avoiding more pressure to pay more for U.S. troops stationed in South Korea. Others warn the summit may have left new burden, especially after President Trump hinted he wanted ownership of South Korean land, currently leased to house U.S. military bases under a legally agreed framework. With no joint statement, it's unclear if China came up at the summit despite Mr. Lee's desire to strengthen ties with Beijing. Nor is it clear if the two discussed strategic flexibility, referring to the use of U.S. forces for expanded operations, including countering China. Mr. Lee previously said this would be difficult to agree with amid concerns South Korea could be dragged into a conflict over Taiwan.
중국이 대만을 침공하려면 반드시 북한을 사주해서 미국의 전략 자산을 최대한 한반도에 묶어두기 위한 그런 도발을 하게 만들 것이고, 똑같은 이치로 북한도 한국을 공격하려면 미국의 전력을 최대한 대만으로 분산시키기 위해서 중국과 공모하지 않겠습니까? 미국으로서는 한반도 정부와 대만 정부를 엄격히 실제로 분리하기 어려울 겁니다.
The two leaders also discussed the possibility of Mr. Trump meeting with North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un as early as this year. Mr. Lee is hoping that would pave the way for better inter-Korean ties. But some analysts earlier said a U.S.-North Korea summit was unlikely to improve inter-Korean relations.
미국 대화를 하면은 관계 개선을 추구할 것이냐, 저는 좀 회의를 가지고 있습니다. 2023년도에 남북관계 단절, 또 이민족 이렇게 얘기를 하면서 핵무력에 의한 무력 행위를 추구한다고 얘기를 했는데 김정은이 이렇게 조치를 하는 거는 성공한 남한이 있는 그 자체가 위협인 거죠.
Despite the smiles, analysts say follow-up talks are essential on issues like alliance modernization, defense cost sharing, and trade negotiations. For now, many issues remain unchanged even after the high-profile summit. Lim Yun Suk, CNA, Seoul.